send you Imran's number. Good morning, everyone. Hello.
Let's have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Hello, Sean.
For the folks from TCS, on the production schedule, we've got James, then Sibusiso, and then Dr. Gita. Right? Do we want to have it separately? Because they both
George is from Huawei. James is from CSG. Sibusiso is from IBM. And
is James Kirby from CSG?
Yes. James
Okay, because his bio on the website says James Kirby TCS, huh?
Oh, great.
Okay, that's where I got confused. Okay, it's fine. Okay, cool. That's just on the website that you sent from a bio perspective. Okay, no, then it's fine. No.
It says James. Sorry, so did they say on the bio James is from CSG?
Yeah, his strap line next to his.
Introducing MTN MoMo when you need
10 rand airtime.
But first you must negotiate.
12 rand.
Yes, my friend. But make it 11.50.
12 rand. Take it or leave it.
But 11.50 is a good price, no?
Hey, stop your game.
Aye, man, come on. No, customer. Uzoba ne headache. Just Momo it. Dial star 120 star 151 hash to get the airtime you pay for. Ava.
Hello and good morning to all of our TADHack hackers out there today. We are extremely excited to have you with us today. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you our MC for today, Mr. Imran Kassim.
Act with anybody as much as you like, you know. So and I think first of all is let me just make sure that everybody can hear me and see me, because you know, that's always the worry from my side. Is I think the quote of the year, something that we all say almost on a daily basis, is either you're on mute or you know, I'm on mute. Sorry, I was on mute. So with that, let me say good morning.
Your video, Imran.
My video's on, Alicia?
Yep, we can't see you.
That's very weird because my camera is on. I'm turning my camera off and I'm turning my camera back on again. Maybe that'll help. Can you see me now?
Good morning. Yes, we can see you, Imran. Great to see you there.
Finally. All right. So this wasn't a case of hearing me, but not being able to see me was a bigger issue. Okay, that's cool. All righty. So what do I say? Everybody, good morning. Molo, Sani Banani, Assalamu alaikum, Goeiemorgen. It doesn't matter where you are in South Africa, but from us here at MTN and my bright yellow tracky top, I just want to say a big yellow to everybody and welcome to our TADHack for this year, 2020. Woohoo! And I'm going to have to make my own sound effects because I guess, you know, you're not in the room with me. I remember when I emceed this the last time, it was magnificent to see all of these young, eager faces, you know, starting out the session. It was magnificent to kind of see all of you kind of, you know, just kind of so excited at the beginning of what, you know, looks to be a great weekend. So, I mean, I'm your host for today. Be introducing you to all of the speakers. My name is Imran. And just to let you know, it's okay if you mispronounce my name. Everybody does it. Wherever I go in the world, people say my name differently. So you can call me whatever you like, to be honest. Generally, white people who are very posh, they call me Imran. Okay. My colored brothers and sisters generally call me Imran. So that's a variant of my name. And Indian guys generally don't even say my name. They just say, hey, Lani, what kind? And my black brothers and sisters generally say Dingaan. How I got from Imran to Dingaan, I don't know, but hey, I live with it and I work with it. What's interesting is when I travel across Africa, you know, with MTN, I've been very fortunate to travel across Africa and the Middle East. And when I travel to the likes of, you know, Cameroon or Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, any of the Francophone countries, I love how French people, you know, pronounce their R's with a R. So in those countries, I become Imran, and I get a R in my name. But what's also interesting is when I travel into the Middle East, and possibly my best experiences ever, I love traveling into the Middle East. So I've spent time in, you know, Iran, Syria, Afghanistan. And my first experience in Syria was always great because the guy at passport control said, "What is your name?" And I said, "It's Imran." And he goes, "No, no, 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 no. You say your name wrong." I was like, "Okay, it's only been 45 years I've been saying my name wrong, but how do I say my name?" He says, "Your name is not Imran. It is Amaran. It is Arabic. Your name is Amaran." So yeah, guys, call me what you want. Imran, Amaran, Omran, whatever you want to. I'll be emceeing you guys today. Okay, so let's talk about TADHack 2020. I mean, geez. Let's get through some of the the house rules that I've got to get through before I introduce our first speakers. So the first thing is obviously I didn't know this. This is a mouthful. Telecommunication Application Developer Hackathon South Africa, and that's where the word TADHack comes from. So TADHackZA coming to you live now, virtually, over a secure HTTPS line, so you don't have to worry. Okay, at a speed of your own internet connection, obviously as a browser of your choice. So guys, let's go through some of the house rules before I introduce our first speakers. I think it's important, whether we're hackers or not, respect is important. So can I ask you all to just kind of ensure that we respect one another throughout the weekend, and even beyond our own hackathon platform. Respect is a critical thing. You can ask questions all the time. So, feel free to ask questions via the YouTube chat box, Hacker Earth, or through Slack. Those are your options to ask questions. Don't be shy. I'm sure they're going to have questions. I had a ton of questions for Alicia before I came out here today. So, feel free, just fire off all of those questions. Then please make sure that your team members are all registered on HackerEarth.com. I'm hoping I'm saying this right. It's at HackerEarth.com. Please make sure that all of your speakers are registered there. And your members, because if you are a winner and they're not registered there, then, hey, how do we know who was in your team? Because that's also where you'll be submitting your solution, right, on the Hacker Earth platform. So the other thing is, I don't know where you guys are based, but please observe the rules of wherever you are based. So whether you're in a campus dorm or you're in your grandma's basement or you're at home or whatever it is, please just kind of, respect the rules of wherever you are. If social distancing is required, if wearing a mask is required or whatever it is, just please observe the rules of wherever you are based and, kind of clean up your campus room or whatever it is. Even if you've been drinking, 26 cans of beer and 500 boxes of popcorn while we're there, we don't need to see that. Clean up your room so at least the space looks decent when we're taking photos and when you're posting selfies of what you're busy doing, okay? And speaking of that, we know that because of this is all virtual, we're going to be expecting you to kind of be posting some of the buzzer stuff that you're doing this weekend. We're streaming this live to the world, so please, when you are out on social media, whether that be Facebook, Twitter, Insta, Snapchat, I don't know, Twitch, Stream, Slack, whatever, whichever platform you're busy, posting to, please make sure to use the hashtag TADHackZA, okay? And possible also, please, tag our sponsors as well, because they make it all possible. And if it's not for them, we wouldn't be able to be hosting this event virtually as we are today. And I know it's a fabulous opportunity for you to be able to be showcasing your skills. So with that, instead of me kind of yakking on, I think, the most important thing is for us to be able to say that this is only possible. And I want to reiterate that this is only possible because of our sponsors. If it wasn't our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to house the event, we wouldn't be able to stream it, there wouldn't be all these cool prizes, which we'll come to a little later to talk about all of the prizes that are available at the TADHack this year. So with that, I'm going to kind of systematically bring up a couple of our sponsors and the people who are behind this. And the first man that I want to bring up to talk now is Cedric Ngesan from MTN. He's a fintech guru, whenever I present or whenever I introduce Cedric, all the ladies are always going gaga over his accent because he does have a French accent. So, but we're not here to talk about his accent. We're here to hear what he has to say. But just to talk about some of the sponsors that we've got here today, there's the likes of IBM, Huawei, TCS, CSG, Contactable, and a host of others in case I've forgotten them off the top of my head, but we'll go systematically through the calls and introduce all of them. But first up from MTN, let's hear from Cedric, who's a fintech guru. I mean, this man has been in the fintech industry for a long time, but for the past 6 years, he's been here at MTN and he's been growing our MoMo base and making MoMo magic, basically, by getting this thing live in 16 of our opcos and really kind of making a difference by putting a bank in everybody's pocket. So, Cedric, are you on the line?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Imran. You always introduce me so well. All right, so hello everyone. I'm very, very humbled to be doing the introduction and being one of the speakers today, and I'm very, very excited about this event. So yeah, my name is Cedric. I've been working for the past 12 years in the fintech industry, launching one of actually the first mobile money deployment in the world back in the days. And what I can say about fintech is that it has really changed millions of people's lives across our continent. Over the past 6 years at MTN, we've done a lot. We've put a lot of resources to actually accelerate fintech because we believe that payments and mobile money is actually one of the foundations for accelerating digital and financial inclusion. And that's very, very important because the economic and social growth of our continent actually we believe that it relies on accelerating digital and financial service adoption. What I can say about MTN also is that we've done a lot of things to grow the mobile money ecosystem. And all the success we had was actually done through partnerships. You know, the 40 million active customers we have on mobile money that use mobile money every month visits our 500,000 agents every month. These are partners. The service they use are performed by technology partners, by banks who provide this service, by entrepreneurs, by businesses, by developers who have thought of innovative solutions. One of the recognition actually to that spirit of togetherness and partnership was for us the launch of a cross-country open API platform that is called MoMo Developer that we launched about 3 years ago, and it has been very, very, very successful. We see we have more than 10,000 actually developers actively exchanging every month on that platform and exchanging ideas, clarifying on how you integrate with mobile money and so on and so on. But what is very interesting to me is that you know, all the solutions that have come up through this engagement, through engaging with the developer community, with the businesses, with the entrepreneurs, we've seen that mobile money is actually an accelerator for many, many industry verticals. Mobile money has enabled many households to have lights in their house through solar solution because they were able to pay in installments. Mobile money has enabled millions of people to have access to a loan for the first time. Mobile money has enabled businesses, small merchants, to go online, sell online, and collect their payment online. And these are only one of the thousands of use cases and solutions that have been enabled thanks to the deployment of mobile money. So the theme of today is actually very exciting because COVID-19 has actually accelerated the adoption of mobile money and of digital solutions. And we've seen at MTN an accelerated number of users, an accelerated number of transactions, an accelerated number of innovation happening across our ecosystem. And so mobile money and digital inclusion is more than ever relevant and important from a business perspective, from a social perspective, and from an economic perspective. I'm very, very excited, and I'm looking forward to see the amazing solution that this year TADHack will come up with. And what I can assure you is that all the relevant solutions also will be able to be deployed in our platform because we want partnership. We want to work with you, with all of you, to be able to disrupt digital and financial inclusion in Africa. So on that word, good luck, and looking forward to some very, very exciting solution coming from you guys. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Cedric. Appreciate it, man. So as Cedric said, we're really looking forward to how some of you would be able to look at, integrating the MoMo solution into some of the solutions that you'd be putting forward today. Okay, on to our next speaker, and who also, so as we said, from a group perspective, Cedric looks after the fintech and the MoMo platform across our footprint. But more specifically, our next speaker, Julius Sukuza, is the program lead for MoMo in South Africa. I do believe that Julius is in studio with you, Alicia. Am I correct?
Yeah, great. Julius is right here.
Okay, so Julius also looks after MoMo SA, but in addition to that, he's also a fintech guru. But what's even more amazing is that if you think about all of the buzzwords that we talk about today along the lines of lean, agile, design thinking, all of those kind of cool things, Julius is kind of being able to be schooled in that in his career. So let's hear from Julius Sukuza, the program lead for MoMo in MTN SA. Dun, 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 dun.
Hi, thanks Imran for the introduction. Yes, I've got all of the fancy buzzwords from agile, lean, fintech, disruption, everything cool, just to make sure this thing happens. Thanks for the opportunity. It's a really great honor to speak about mobile money on behalf of MTN SA, but more than anything about how much of a difference mobile money can actually make in this country. As my colleague Cedric has touched on, we are part of a global organization. And South Africa is really now becoming a serious player in the fintech space, especially in South Africa. Many people say, why mobile money? And the way I choose to think about it is when people were riding horses, they were asking themselves, why cars? And really, I think mobile money is really that evolution in the banking and financial services space. If we look at banking over the centuries or even in the decades, even with the disruption that technology has done, banking behavior, products and services have really not changed. And what mobile money seeks to do is address exactly that by disrupting and inviting people to participate in the creating of solutions that are going to be relevant. Our developer platform, MoMo Developer, is doing exactly that. Initiatives like this hackathon are doing exactly that, inviting people into the ecosystem to create solutions for themselves and for the communities that they represent. And what's unique about mobile money is exactly that. It is a solution for the people to solve everyday issues and creating ecosystems that will make lives easier for those individuals. And that's not something that we can do by ourselves as MTN or mobile money, an organization that requires collaboration with different kinds of people from different backgrounds, different communities, and different expertise. So that is why we are participating in this hackathon, to create that platform and deliver those services. The journey for mobile money in South Africa and why we believe it is necessary, and I've touched on this. South Africa, though, is one of the most highly sophisticated markets. It still remains highly thinly served. There's over 10 million South Africans who are thinly served, and the definition of thinly served is people who have some kind of financial product, but it's transactional. As we know, behavior, your mama, no tata betu, our mothers and fathers, you have a bank account to receive payment, and as soon as you receive the payment, you withdraw the money. So we can't really call that a banked or a financially active person. So we want to create the sort of products that are going to address specifically that need. With that said, we're not creating only a product for the marginally banked. The product mobile money is for everybody who wants to perform a financial service with specific use cases for those who are marginally or thinly banked, i.e. don't have access as such, to those who are highly banked and sophisticated. And evidence that is in our mobile money now, which you can download at all of the app stores, iOS and the Play Store. You can also access mobile money via USSD, and that was done deliberately on purpose, that if you are a feature phone user, you still have access to mobile money. If you are a smartphone user, regardless of Android or any other operating system, iOS, you're still able to access mobile money. And the type of products we have there range from the most basic to some sophisticated products. On mobile money, you can buy and sell it. You can buy airtime and data and all the telco related products, and not only MTN products, though it is an MTN solution. You can buy all the other telcos that are available in the country. Their telco offerings are also available on the mobile money platform. And on that point, it's an important note to make in the effort to include people in this financial services. Mobile money is not only accessible to MTN customers, it is accessible to all SIM card holders regardless of what network you're on. Whether you're on the red network, the blue network, the black network, or is it red now, whatever network you're on, you are able to open up a mobile money account at the comfort of your home. We've made the registration process simple. You can do it at the comfort of your home, while you're at work, while you're waiting in line. Within 2 to 5 minutes, you're open to open up a mobile money account and a mobile money wallet. And then once you've registered, you have access to these awesome services. What are those? I've already mentioned the selling. You can buy airtime on mobile money, data, bundles. You're able to pay for prepaid electricity, pay for your municipal bills. And as we move up the level of sophistication, we now have cool things like renewing your car license at the comfort of your own home. We are soon launching medical services where you can go and buy a medical voucher to go consultation with doctors. And we're constantly looking for solutions, which brings us to this hackathon, where we are asking you as participants to come up with solutions for COVID-related issues that are going to be enabled and solved by mobile money. What do we know? What do we mean by this? Because of COVID, we found that handling of cash, as we've all heard, can be a way to transmit, because it is a contact germ or virus, and it can move via handling of cash. Isolation, sitting at home, yet you still need to access the world. So what mobile money wants to do is build that ecosystem available at the palm of your hand. And one of the novelties that we've done is obviously introduce the renewing of car licenses. So no longer having to go to a traffic station to renew your car license. That's limiting exposure to any sort of risk of contracting the virus. That's just one idea of the kind of solution that we've implemented that is COVID related. The other things is just remittance of money itself, being able to send money to your loved ones without necessarily walking to the bank, to an ATM, handing cash to somebody, being able to do that. Even merchant payments, ability to pay at your spaza shop, at the retailer, to be able to pay using mobile money instead of using cash or touching the keypad. So we're really inviting you as the hacker community to think up of more use cases of mobile money, both at the simple basic level and increasing sophistication. As mobile money is not meant to be rather not to say what it shouldn't be. What it should be is a solution for every man that wants to do financial services, every man and every woman who wants to engage in financial services. So I invite you as hackers to please complete your registration on the Hacker Earth website. Make sure you've opened up your mobile money account, you've signed up for this hackathon over these next 2-3 days. And as MTN South Africa MoMo, we will send you a gift into your wallet, into your mobile money wallet. You'll get a small gift that you can use to buy more data, buy airtime, and actually experience the service itself. So please register on the website and make sure you are eligible to receive that gift, but more importantly that you experience mobile money yourself and you would know what kind of applications are necessary. And I hope I've given you a very quick but good enough overview of what mobile money is and why it's important that you as hackers participate and collaborate with us in creating solutions and an ecosystem that is going to be impactful in South Africa. And once these solutions are open, because of the innovation in our developer platform, anyone can participate. Your solution is live, and if you can market it, people will be able to interact with your product and your solution using mobile money as a method of payments. So we look forward to engaging with you further and seeing some awesome innovation around mobile money. Thank you very much.
Guys, awesome stuff. I mean, I think one of the things that I can do is just kind of attest to the fact that I myself use the services to get my car license a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, and I think that everything that Julius was talking about from a MoMo perspective is absolutely true. I think for me, you know, one of the most amazing things is the simplicity of renewing your car license. You know the drama of when you have to kind of go and get your car license renewed. It's about waiting in queues and more queues and more queues, and then you don't have a piece of paper, and then you don't have the right amount, and the post office only takes cash, etc., etc. And with this, it was as simple as me just taking a screen grab or a photo of my license disc, uploading it via MoMo, and literally 2 days later, a courier rocks up at my door with my car license. So it was amazing. So yeah, kudos to the guys at the at the MoMo team for pulling that all together. My only request now would be can you do this for ID documents and passports? Hashtag just saying, if you're able to do that, that would make my life a whole lot easier. But anyway, on to our next speaker. So we've got a trifecta of MoMo folks here today. So we heard from Cedric, we've heard from Julius, and now we're going to hear from the MTN South Africa Chief Officer of Financial Services, Felix Kamenga. Felix, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
All right, so over to you, Felix. Let's wait for that jingle, and you can take it away. Dun, 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 dun. Felix Kamenga, ladies and gentlemen, MTN SA Chief Officer of Financial Services.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I want to start off by basically making a disclosure. I'm a big fan of coding, and I spent my early career coding. I spent about 8 years as a software developer back then, but I know it's not what it used to be, and there's been a lot of advancement and changes in the sector. But I think the fundamentals still remain the same. I mean, the passion and the innovation that has been coming out of South Africa is unmatched around the continent. So kudos to everybody that's participating, and kudos to everybody that's been involved in basically making this happen. So on my part, really just a welcome. I want to welcome everybody who's participating. And I really just want to highlight some of the most amazing, I'd say, innovation usually comes out of sessions similar to this, and we're really looking forward to seeing some of the great ideas the young people have. That's the one thing about TADHack. It really brings together diverse ideas. And just touching on mobile money and our ability and its place and how we hope it will actually play a role in the future of development and providing open APIs. At some point in time, we basically want to make MoMo, the MoMo platform APIs available to make it easier for the different developers to have a means of payment beyond just card and traditional banking. So we're really creating a platform that's gonna enable people to connect and monetize their ideas a whole lot better. We're really excited about the potential and prospect that actually brings to people. As you know, having a great idea is one thing, but really being paid for it and monetizing it is another. So we're really excited about the future prospects of and the role and the potential role mobile money has and can play in basically enabling what is being developed today. So with that, I just want to say good luck to all the participants and really looking forward to seeing some of the work that's going to be produced out of this workshop. Good luck and thank you very much.
Thank you, Felix. That's awesome. I think that, that's where everybody's kind of sitting usually, at the start of this, is to be able to kind of almost, you can almost feel the electricity around the possibility of what is going to come out of this at the end of the weekend. So yeah, thank you very much, Felix. Much appreciated. So on to our next speaker, and this is slightly different because now we're going to get from Alan Quayle, who's the kind of head of TADHack, but obviously based out into the US, and we've got time difference issues and all of that kind of stuff. So there's a pre-recorded message from the head of TADHack. Let's hear from the man himself, Mr. Alan Quayle.
Welcome to TADHack Global 2020. This has been the toughest year ever to put TADHack together. Thank you to everyone who's taking part. You are all exceptional. You're the hardcore, showing you'll hack no matter what. When your children, grandchildren, grandnieces and nephews ask you what you were doing during the pandemic, you'll be able to tell them that you were hacking at TADHack, and on the TADHack YouTube channel, show the videos of you and your video pitch. Generally at TADHack, we don't set challenges. We want you to think about the problems you see in your home, work, community lives, and think about how the sponsor's technologies can help solve them. Also, if you just want to try something out, that's okay as well. TADHack is about having fun and learning. This is our 7th TADHack Global. It's the largest communications-focused hackathon in the world for 7 straight years. Now, for global sponsors, Simwood and Avaya are the main resources to use. Sangoma is also a global sponsor, but they do have some engineering resource limitations. So advise that it's best to use Asterix if you have some experience with it. I just wanted to highlight that. So there's 3 global sponsors, but Sangoma, Avaya are the main ones. And also just to mention that we also have a couple of sponsors for in North America, Intellipeer and Symbol AI. And there's no reason why you may not be based in North America, but if they're of interest, why not mash them up into your hack as well? The more you mash up, the greater your chances of winning. We have locations all around the world, including Berlin, thanks to Automark Berlin, VoIP Labs, Deutsche Telekom and Hubraum. In the United Kingdom, thanks to Simwood and Applicay. In North America, thanks to the Illinois Institute of Technology Real-Time Communication Labs, Intellipeer and Symbol.ai. For South Africa, our largest location, thanks to MTN South Africa and Geek Culture, plus many more supporting. For Papaya, thanks to Creatic, Microsoft Columbia and AG Tools. For Asia Pacific, Roshni and her team at Senate Mobile in Sri Lanka, also Mark and Jose in Singapore, and since 2014, we've accepted global remote entries. So if none of those locations are near you, doesn't matter, you can still take part from the comfort of your own home. I'm grateful you're going to be spending a weekend with us on the 9th for South Africa, 10th and 11th for everyone in October 2020. Remember, you're the hardcore, hacking during the pandemic. I hope you have fun. Virtually meet amazing people from around the world, learn important new skills, and perhaps even change the world with your hack. Good luck. Thank you.
I mean, whenever I hear Alan speak, it's almost amazing to kind of just think about just how big this is. And we very often kind of sit here in South Africa and almost think kind of very insularly about the situation when it's actually something so big and so global. So we were worried about our next speaker, and someone said, "Hey, where's Nolan?" And then somebody said, "He ran somewhere." Get it? Ransomware, hacker, ransomware. Okay, geez, it's tough being in a virtual audience. But anyway, Nolan is available and he is our next speaker. So allow me to introduce Nolan Wolf, who's the head of Ayoba. So if for those of you who are on the audience don't know what Ayoba is, it's a messaging service that's a lot more than just a messaging service. It's an MTN service that allows you to do all the kind of usual kind of, kind of instant messaging that you would ordinarily do, but it's got a whole lot of other services that are built into the process. It's evolving all the time. It's really young. I mean, I think it's barely 2 years old, I think it is. And they've made massive strides. They've got, I think there's almost 2 million subs on it already. They've got these amazing channels where you can get music live that's streamed, and you can get news and all of that kind of stuff. So it's a whole lot more than just a messaging service. But I mean, I'm not kind of going to do it justice, and that's why we've got Nolan Wolf here, who's the head of Ayoba. But prior to him kind of heading up Ayoba, he's got a mammoth history of being in the e-commerce space, in the startup space. He worked out at eBay in the UK, and there was very concerned with trust and safety and looking after the experience of customers and making sure, from a e-commerce perspective, there wasn't any fraud and all of those kinds of things. He's also worked as a consultant for Bain at some stage in his life, but then saw the light and then left the consulting life and came to MTN to look after Ayoba and make a meaningful difference to make the lives of people a whole lot brighter. So with that, can I hand over to Mr. Nolan Wolf, the head of Ayoba?
Thanks, Imran. You have stolen my thunder a little bit, given away sort of some of the things that I wanted to talk about. But yes, I am the head of Ayoba, and you've touched on sort of some of the success that we've had in Ayoba in the short time that we have available, that we've sort of been around. But let me sort of give you a little bit of background, and then I'll talk about where Ayoba is at the moment and how I think Ayoba is going to be relevant to this audience. Ayoba pretty much started back in November 2018 when MTN bought Simfi, which up until then was focused on delivering music streaming to the African market. The digital MTN team, really had the insight and the foresight to see the opportunity to build a communications platform focused specifically for the African market, and the Ayoba app was born. The Ayoba team are based in Cape Town. I'm actually talking to you from Sydney today, though. We have a few people based around the world. And while MTN is a major shareholder and a key partner, we actually run Ayoba very much as an independent startup. We've grown our own team and developed our own culture based on the product management principles of being customer-centric and making data-driven decisions. So after 18 months of very hard work, we've launched the Ayoba app across 20 key markets in Africa and the Middle East, and are in the top 20 apps on the Google Play Store in many of those markets. And we now, as Imran alluded to, we actually have over 2 million monthly active users. Of course, I'm always asked, how are you going to compete against Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Telegram, WeChat? These guys have been around for much longer, have much bigger teams, and have substantially larger budgets. For me, the answer is pretty simple. one of our founding principles is about inclusion. And Ayoba has been developed in Africa for the African market by Africans. And our heritage enables us to appreciate the many languages and cultures across the African continent. And that means we can deliver a user experience that respects all of those, which of course these larger players just can't do that. So what have we delivered so far? At our core, as Imran alluded to, Ayoba very much is an instant messaging platform. We allow users to seamlessly chat, send images, videos, voice notes to their friends and family. However, we are very definitely much more than just messaging. We've already got over 60 free content channels covering local news, entertainment, sports, fashion, education, and more. And quite importantly, those are available in a lot of different languages across the continent, and those are very much locally driven channels. We've also integrated with MTN's mobile money product MoMo, and that's on the platform now, enabling Ayoba users to transfer funds to their Ayoba contacts within the app. We've also recently integrated the Simfi Music Time product into Ayoba, allowing users to listen to hundreds of tracks while they chat to their friends, and that's all available for free when you're using Ayoba. I'm very excited about the music time piece in the Ayoba side, because we have very much a focus on local African artists, and we plan to give these aspiring artists a voice and exposure to our Ayoba community, and that will be a big priority for us over the coming year. There are a number of other areas that I'd love to talk about, but I think given the limited time available, I particularly want you to focus on our developer platform, which I think is going to be relevant for our audience today. What we've done is we've exposed a range of our Ayoba APIs to third-party developers, which means that a lot of the functionality which we use internally to provide features and functionality across the app, we now make that available to external developers. And effectively what we've done is we've built a platform to allow developers to build their own applications, which we're calling micro apps, and then make their micro apps available to the millions of users on the Ayoba platform, in the same way that Apple, Google, and Microsoft have their own app stores. We're just getting started on the public launch of the Ayoba micro app platform, but we've got the developer portal pretty much ready to go with all the documentation that you would need to develop your own apps. We've actually already run a very successful virtual hackathon earlier this year. I think Eero and the team did a fantastic job with that. And the top apps from that competition will actually shortly be appearing on the Ayoba micro app platform. And we plan to be holding further hackathons over 2021. We have a very packed and very exciting roadmap planned for the next 12 months. So please download the app, tell your friends, and if you're a developer, stay in touch through our developer portal. Thanks.
I think, Nolan, you said the magical words there when you said free. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand is just the value that Ayoba brings in terms of a lot of that functionality, and its features are free for subscribers. And I think people kind of forget that. So, yeah, thank you very much, Nolan, for kind of just, and I'm just trying to think what the time is in Sydney. Right now, if you I think
it's
you
it's
guys
just on 6:45 in the evening.
in the evening. Okay, so I was just going to say it's your Friday night, and you're supposed to be in a pub in Sydney somewhere or something like that, but you're busy talking to us. So thank you really very, very, very much for taking the time out.
That's absolutely my pleasure. And the reality is, these days this is just the start of my day, because I work very closely with the South African team. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here today. Thank you.
Thanks, Nolan. Yeah, guys. So speaking to us all the way from down under, and didn't get an opportunity to put any shrimp on the barbie because he's busy chatting with us. That was Nolan Wolf, the head of Ayoba. All right, let's keep the train kind of going on track. Our next sponsor that we'd like to give an opportunity to kind of chat to us is the CEO of Contactable, none other than Sean Stradham. And Sean also kind of a long history. It seems like a lot of guys who have worked in the consulting world for the likes of Deloitte and Co. At some stage kind of decide to kind of venture out and do kind of more meaningful work in terms of starting to say, how can I make a difference in the world on a bigger scale? And that's what Sean has done. And as a result of that, him being the CEO of Contactable is considered today to be a global thought leader in his space along the lines, of innovation and new tech. So with that, let's hand over to the CEO of Contactable, one of our gold sponsors, Sean Stradham.
Hi, Imran. Thank you. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Thanks for the great introduction. And we are super excited to be involved with TADHack this year. I mean, it has really been our journey for the last 10 years to look at technology and innovation and how, digitization has changed everything that's happening across many industries with all the innovation and disruption that's taking place. And for TADHack specifically, how are we going to solve some real world issues using technology? So really excited to be involved. I mean, we've seen now, and it's interesting that COVID was selected as one of the topics to solve because there's no doubt in our minds that this digital economy and this low-touch economy is here to stay, and COVID has accelerated the adoption of technologies, knowing that it's not like it used to be. We're interacting digitally. We're having a TADHack through a virtual conference. Who would have thought that would happen, a year or two ago? We're seeing a lot of innovation across various industries, and we are great and very proud partners of MTN and specifically MoMo. Again, a great example of innovation in the market and how something like banking and financial services can be made so simple, so accessible through the use of technology. Now, Contactable, we've been at the forefront of digital innovation and what's called identity ecosystems for the past 10 years now. So like many of the people that are involved with TADHack, we were also once a startup. We also had to fight our way through innovation and coming up with solutions that made real sense. And it took a lot of time and a lot of patience to build what we've built today. And, it's now one of the largest federated identity platform systems that exist in the market, and proudly South African, might I say. So more innovation coming out of our South Africa, and our platform has been recognized internationally, which is very exciting. Now, on this journey, and it'll speak a little bit to how we're going to get involved and help some of the developers, across the next 2-3 days. Is one thing we do know in this digital economy is that there's real issues to solve, issues of identity, issues of product activation and innovation, and specifically understanding that people are interacting differently. We want simplicity. Customers want simplicity. Technology must solve complex problems that used to be done in a physical environment. People want control of their data. And then, as MoMo is such a great example, you can come into a technology and you can buy airtime across different networks. You can open accounts. You can, renew your license. And we're seeing a lot of these ecosystem technologies popping up. And you really need sophisticated technology that understands that these relationships are separate. People are unique, and we are connecting with services, organizations, devices, all sorts of things in this digital world. So that's really where we play, and you'll see a lot of our technology all over the market in relation to specifically identity and e-compliance and e-KYC solutions. And we're going to be exposing 1 or 2 APIs to the various TAD hackers that they can access. We'll be making those resources available because we do believe that in any of these digital solutions, that solving identity is going to be vital in any digital solution. If you don't know who you're dealing with and you cannot deal with that complexity and get certainty and confidence in who you are dealing with and that the person is who they're saying they are, it's going to be very difficult to deploy these solutions. And we'll be helping the teams with a couple of APIs that they can call to assist them with making sure that the person or customer that they're dealing with is indeed that particular person. And we'll have some great resources and developers online to assist the guys as they integrate those specific APIs. But maybe, Imran, if I may as well, maybe a little bit of advice to the team, and maybe to say as well is that we'll be watching these channels over the next 3 days. We'll also be judging some of the submissions that will be made, and we've also, as one of our prizes, offered to offer some internships to some of the hackers and teams that are involved. And we ourselves are a fintech. We're a very innovative fintech, and we're on the lookout for some great talent over the next 3 days to offer them as part of the prize and our participation, some internship, job creation, and working with some of the top developers and engineers in the market within our organization. So excited to do that as well. And then maybe just some advice to the teams, again, having gone through this ourselves, and starting something that didn't exist 10 years ago and building it into a large fintech company today, is to everybody that's busy with us. Just want to give you a few little pointers. Just remember, complex solutions, but people want simplicity. So solve complex things, but keep it simple for the people that are using the technology. Be patient, think out of the box. Think of new ways to solve these challenges, particularly around the objective around COVID. You're going to make mistakes. It is going to fail. It's not going to work. Keep resilient, keep going. And most importantly, really believe in your solution like nobody else. If you're not excited about it and you're not convinced, nobody else will be convinced either. So stay confident, have fun. We're super excited to be involved, and good luck to everybody involved over the next 3 days.
Wow. Sean, that is amazing, man. I mean, how often do you get an opportunity to while you kind of playing over the weekend, I'm using the word playing loosely, there's an opportunity for you to get a paid internship with Contactable. I mean, that is phenomenal. So if there's anything riding on this and you being kind of super successful in what you want to do, no other incentive is needed, that there's an opportunity to get a job at the end of the day for doing what you do best. So that's great. And thank you very much, Sean. I think that is amazing and such an exciting opportunity for the guys taking part in the TADHack this weekend, that there's an opportunity, in addition to the tons of other prizes that are available, for it is paid, right? A paid internship at Contactable. So yeah, guys, there was a question from, I believe it was Clinton, who was asking that he wasn't sure about this whole gift thing about the Momo gift. So just to clarify, once you've gone and registered on the Hacker Earth site, there you will then receive Momo money once you've confirmed your registration on the Hacker Earth site. So for you to qualify and be eligible for the gift of Momo money, you need to be registered on the Hacker Earth site. And then obviously you go and set up a Momo account, and the guys will be giving you some Momo money to spend. So I hope that answers your question, Clinton. I'm sure there's going to be lots of other questions coming for Sean about now that he's offered a paid internship around, how that works. But anyway, all right, on to our next gold sponsor. I'm a lover of their products, I must admit. From my first Mate phone when they came into SA, I think that must have been about 8 years ago or something like that. I've been using Huawei handsets and loving them. Almost, it's a no-brainer for me to just kind of switch to the next one and the next one and the next one. So I'm looking forward to getting my P40 now, because I've been using my P30 for almost 2 years already. So let's hear from the business development director for Huawei here in South Africa, and he's a veteran of the IT industry with decades of experience in IT, and obviously working with one of the biggest tech companies on the globe, for that matter. Let's hear from our second gold sponsor, and this is Mr. George Thomas from Huawei. And I hope I said that correctly. It is Huawei, right? I mean, people make a hash of the name all the time. So, George, are you on the line?
Yes, Imran, thank you very much. I am online. And yes, you've pronounced Huawei correctly. There's no right or wrong way to pronounce it. It's pronounced differently, just like you mentioned at the beginning how your name is pronounced differently. And I guess you can add my accent to your list of how I call you, Imran. Yeah, so I do come from North Africa, so I come from Africa. I've been working on almost every country on the African continent over the past many years, and it's a great pleasure to join you today. And actually, I was in the event last year. It was a great event, the TADHack, and I couldn't wait to join it again this year with all the impressive ideas, applications, systems that come up, very innovative. So I can't wait to see what all our developers are going to come up with in this next couple of days. So really, when how Huawei is going to contribute to the developers in those couple of days is really all about where you want to host your application systems in a platform that is kind of dynamic, scalable, with all the automation you need that can run your application. Huawei Cloud is hosted locally here in South Africa, so don't worry, I shouldn't worry about latency or any of that. And also our local team and experts, architects and engineers are local. So from today at 6 o'clock, we will have our chief solutions architect in person with everyone to present to you, really give introduction how Huawei Cloud can support your development projects, how it contributes to it, and how you can start get any technical questions that you will have. We will be there to support you and answer your questions so we can get you up and running. Huawei Cloud really, I mean, just like Imran, when he started talking about Huawei, he mentioned mobile phones. So Huawei is not just about smartphones and smart devices, but it's also about connectivity. When you think about the fourth industrial revolution, this is powered and enabled by 5G. And I'm sure you've heard a lot about what's happening in the 5G world and Huawei being a leader in this field. So connectivity, bandwidth, speed to deliver, applications, especially when you talk about things like, COVID-19, how can you resolve that? So just to give you an example, we have, through our partners, developed a COVID-19 diagnosis application that uses artificial intelligence that's able to take a scan, and through AI algorithms, it's able to diagnose it and show the condition of the patient. This runs on the cloud platform with all the scalability and power that it provides. So very excited to see what everyone else can come up with. And when you run your application on a hyperscale cloud platform, it enables you to move up the stack, meaning you can use far more advanced services that you can integrate with your applications using your JSON, Python coding or API integration. Things like face recognition, voice recognition, bots, a lot of innovation that you're able to use. So once you create your cloud account through Huawei, you instantly get 1,500 hours free across many services. And should you wish to go further and take your project to the next level, we will absolutely be looking at funding a lot of your POCs to help you get started as well. So the platform is very scalable to support you as a single developer or a startup company, all the way up to very complex projects. So we will be there to support you and get you up, started, and going. So thank you very much, and thank you, Imran, for this opportunity.
Only a pleasure. Only a pleasure, George. Thank you so much for making the time to be here with us this morning, and again also for your sponsorship and your support, and making so much of your tech and your kind of skills and the people available to be assisting the guys. So much appreciated. Okay, on to our next sponsor, is a gentleman by the name of James Kirby, who comes from CSGI. And for me, the most amazing thing was, historically, James comes with a wealth of information. He focuses on go-to-market, but has a ton of experience in the customer experience, product management, sales and service, and all of that kind of stuff. But I thought it was amazing to be able to look at James's business card, because James is the SVP for EMEA for CSGI. So imagine that. That's a mouthful. That's like coding on its own. Just to be able to write out James's business card is like doing coding automatically. So let's hear from James Kirby, who's the VP for the EMEA region. For those of you who don't know, it's Europe, Middle East, and Africa. But yeah, it sounds so cool when you have to say, I'm the SVP for EMEA of CSGI. So over to you, James.
Hey, thanks. I am RAN from MTN SA. Great introduction. So thanks for that. So yeah, my name is James Kirby. I'm from CSG, and I actually joined the company 19 years ago, doing some coding and development myself. And over the years, I've gone through various different stages of the company, and as IMRAN said, I now run our Europe, Middle East, and Africa business, which is amazing because I get to talk with lots of customers from all over the region, and I have to say, I'm locked up here in London, unfortunately, in lockdown. But I spent a lot of time in South Africa, so getting very envious of the backdrop there. You guys in the studio in South Africa. Hopefully, I'll be back there soon. So I guess there's a couple of words about CSG. CSG is all about customer engagement and customer experience. And whilst teams are putting their solutions together over the next couple of days, some things that I would maybe suggest people think about a little bit, which is, you can have a great technical solution, but it has to have a great customer experience, because if you don't have a great customer experience, no one's actually going to be using it. So think about that a little bit as you're putting your solutions together. Does it actually have a good customer experience? And that's, at CSG, that's what we're all about, is helping our customers provide a great customer experience to their end users. And the second bit is think about, is this solution viable? There's a lot of great tech solutions out there. At the end of the day, those tech solutions need to actually be viable from a business perspective. And that's the second part, which is, you have to be able to monetize the solution you're putting together to help fund, the solution going forward. And that's the second piece about what CSG provides. So we provide monetization solutions for customers to how do they monetize the solution they've actually put together. And we work with some really cool companies in doing that, such as MTN, where we provide obviously a lot of the revenue management systems for MTN, but also other industries as well. And I think one of the things that COVID has taught us is how things change very rapidly. So some of the solutions that actually we provide to some big financial companies like JP Morgan Chase, Bank of New York, in terms of how they notify their customers when transactions happen. It's not just about making the transaction itself. It's how do you stay engaged with the customer to inform them, hey, you just spent X thousand rand. Did you mean to do that? Do you have fraud on your account? So a lot of notifications that take place, and that all builds up a good customer experience, because once you've got these customers onto your platform, they're using it, having a great experience, you want to keep them on the platform and retain them for as long as possible. So think about the whole customer journey, and if there's anything that CSG can do to help over the weekend, maybe reach out to us, ask us some questions. Can we help you with what does your customer experience look like? Be happy to help. But thanks very much for the introduction. I am RAN, and maybe I'll hand back to you in the STU IDO in MTN. There you go, Imran.
That's great. Thank you very much, James, who is the, as I said, SVP of the EMEA for CSGI. Yeah, cool. Amazing stuff. And I think, there were two speakers. I think James spoke about it and Sean spoke about it. And I think for me, it's something that I just want to kind of get on my soapbox for a little bit around simplicity and ease of solution. Very often I think when guys create products and all of that kind of stuff, they don't necessarily look at it from the customer's perspective. They make it easy for themselves. So they go, okay, if it's 1 click for me, but it's 100 clicks for the customer, that's cool. It's 1 click for me. And if I can ask you, when you're doing your stuff this week, just kind of like, please, think about the customer and think about making it as easy as possible for the customer, because that really helps with adoption. Because it's easy for me to understand, then I can use your product. And I think if you think about some of the FANGs, the unicorns, these billion-dollar companies like of Amazon and Facebook and Twitter and all of that kind of stuff. I always say to guys, who's the call center for Facebook or who's the call center for Twitter? Nobody knows. Do they even need one? No, because the stuff's kind of self-explanatory and you figure it out and you sort yourself out. So I think the key thing is for you guys to be able to think about the customer and make it easy for the customer to be able to use whatever it is you're putting out there. And on top of that is obviously solving a problem. And to come back to the guys who spoke about Momo and solving that problem of getting a car license renewed, it does a ton of things. So I don't have to stand in the queue and possibly get covered. That's one thing. But just the sheer convenience of me sitting at home and then getting it delivered to me without all the drama that's associated with it it's just genius. So and I think there's that simplicity in of being a genius, as I call it. So yeah, think about the customer experience and all that you're doing. So thank you very much there, James. Okay, on to our next sponsor. I'm just going through my notes because there was changes, and as happens in the world these days, things are agile. We change. Sometimes the speaker, just goes off ransomware. We spoke about it earlier on. But today, our next sponsor is from IBM. And I suppose IBM doesn't need an introduction. You know the name, you know the brand and all that kind of stuff. So the gentleman who is the GM from IBM of Global Business Services for the South and East of Africa, let's give a warm TADHack welcome to Mr. Bishu Panigrahi. I hope I've said your name wrong because I know there's nothing more offensive than mispronouncing someone's name. So Bishu, did I say your name correct?
Imran, you were spot on. I'm impressed.
Perfect. Thank you. Over to you, Bishu. Thank you very much.
Yeah, especially the last name, right? Thank you. Thank you very much, Imran. Thank you very much. And look, in the previous events that MTN held, we were doing it face to face. So this is probably the first time it's being done remotely. But thank you very much, MTN team, for. Are you able to hear me? Are you guys able
yes, we can hear you clearly, Bishu. No problems. We can hear you clearly.
Okay, all right, great. So thanks, MTN team, for giving us this opportunity to showcase our support for this incredible event that MTN is having every year. My name, as you said, is Bishu Panigrahi. I'm the general manager for our Africa business for services. And I'm super excited to see this. I'm told that there's a huge interest and so many people participating in this challenge of solving local business problems for COVID using fintech solutions like mobile money. And broadly speaking, as we talk to our clients as IBM, what we have realized is that every one of us are impacted due to this pandemic, and organizations such as MTN are beginning to reset, revive, and recover from this pandemic and this current crisis, and they're preparing themselves for the new normal. That is what you call, after this pandemic, the things are not going to be the same. It's going to be different. And our clients are going through waves of changes after changes. Changes in the customer behavior and expectations, to legislation and regulation changes, to the industry itself. The home industry as well as the adjacent industries are changing at a broader level. And all of this is putting an immense amount of pressure in the system and in the day-to-day lives of our clients, and it puts a significant level of changes. And as leaders from these organizations are trying to think about new strategies of how to emerge stronger from this and how to be able to prepare themselves for the future, there's no appropriate time than this to have a session and an event like TEDx to come together as an ecosystem, collaborate with the technologies that are available around us and try and solve business problems. And what we have been witnessing is that people consider three things, and I would like the participants today to consider this as they try to solve problems. Is that how is data and AI and intelligence and all the technologies, the exponential technologies that we have, can be embedded into the business flows, core business flows, that can then be used for cost optimization or creating new business opportunities and new revenue streams and so on. Or even what are the things that the clients need to know so that they will be able to make real-time decisions, be it to know what is happening on the field or what's happening to your supply chain or what's happening to the products and services that you have, or be able to make judgments and decisions of what projects and what investments you're going to make next in your organizations, so that will bring the best business value and in a much more effective and faster manner. So with that, we have been solving these kind of challenges for our clients, and I sincerely hope and wish that today and over the next 2-3 days we will be able to come up with lots of solutions, innovative solutions through this TEDx. I'm extremely happy to share that IBM is a sponsor, and as you know, IBM is supporting this event with our cloud platform, which is the only true hybrid open cloud platform with Red Hat OpenShift environments, development environment, which has got all the services that you can think of, starting from your development environments to your APIs, IoT, blockchain, you name it. All these services are available free of cost, free of charge to you. And also, once you're ready with some product that can be taken forward, we can also help with POCs and so on and so forth. So with that, I would like to wish all of you good luck, best of luck, and please use the technology that we have. Our technical teams are around to help you with login and any challenges you may face during the session, and also beyond. We will be there to help you. So good luck again, and back to you, Imran.
Thank you so much, Bishu. That was awesome, man. Thank you again to IBM for sponsoring and being able to offer support on the fly for the guys during this weekend of the TADHack. So I hope that you guys are all showing the guys, you're participating, you've already started tweeting and sending out messages to showing everybody what Boza things that you're busy doing with. For those of you that are not in South Africa, we refer to something as Boza If it's cool, if it's great, it's referred to as boza, and it's I suppose a play on the word boss. So normally you would say that something's boss. In South Africa, it's boza. Okay. And it's a term that's often used at MTN. So to show people what boza stuff you're up to this weekend, please remember to use the hashtag TADHackZA. Okay, so we've had a ton of speakers already today, and sponsors that we'd like, but the next speaker that I'd like to introduce kind of is extra special for me, and the reason I want to say that is because she, and I'm using the word she now purposely, is bucking the trend. So this is the rose amongst all of the thorns that we had. No offense to all the guys who were talking, but I'm so excited to be able to have a sponsor that's being led by a woman. And it's the first woman in our lineup of speakers today, apart from Alicia, who introduced the session and who's the kind of brains and the orchestration behind that. But Dr. Geeta Tyagarajan, I hope I've said that right, and Dr. Geeta is an electrical engineer by trade from Tata Consulting Services, and she's based out in Dubai, but she's the CTO for TCS. She's working out in Dubai, and from her background of electrical engineering is now literally playing in anything that is the latest and greatest when it comes to IoT, smart cities, robotics, the Internet of Things, and all that kind of stuff. So for me to introduce her is great because, as I said, I think it's fabulous to have, we normally don't associate a woman with being a CTO. So for her to be able to stand here as the CTO of TCS, I think is fabulous. For her to be an electrical engineer is even great because you don't normally generally think, and I'm hoping that with Dr. Geeta sitting in front of you today, if there are, and I'm praying there are tons of women who are looking to partake this year in our TADHack as we had last year. I remember there was a group of girls, they were the TADHack Angels or something like that, and it was amazing to see. So I'm loving the fact that we've got somebody, a lady, to encourage fellow ladies and other women out there in the world to get involved in technology so that it doesn't kind of only be perceived as a man's world. So with that, over to you, Dr. Geeta Tyagarajan.
Thanks, Imran, for the kind introduction. I am very excited to participate in TADHack 2020 virtually from Dubai. I do feel a bit nostalgic when I think about last year's TADHack, when I was physically present in Johannesburg, sitting with you all 48 hours, non-stop. The topic was conversational experience then, if I recollect. One of the cognitive chatbots from our labs was put in the mix, and there were a lot of students developing use cases on that. This year, yes, I'm participating virtually, but I'm happy. We have overcome the pandemic. We are bouncing back. We are back on business. We have defined our new normal, and we are moving ahead. So I'm happy about that. What this pandemic has kind of taught us is to keep our businesses resilient, adaptable. What are the new products and services we can think of? Now, mobile money, what are the use cases you can think of in the new normal, what it means? What are the tweaked business models? How can we keep it adaptable? And what is the larger purpose behind each business so that the businesses don't wither away in the face of such calamities? So we are thinking on those lines today. And in TCS, we define what is called as a business 4.0 strategy. We have been talking about it for the last 2-3 years, and it is that strategy which helped us to be resilient and adaptable today. And I thought the young minds here should have a view of this concept, even when they're thinking about a use case. Technology is one, but use cases is very important when you apply technology. So what's this business 4.0 about? See, all of us know about Industry 4.0. It is about AI, automation, robotics. It is the confluence of physical and digital world, and all of us know that. Now, business 4.0 is what value proposition you can give to customers enabled by Industry 4.0 technology. That is what is business 4.0. So, because of this abundance of technologies, today I'm able to do an agile delivery. Think about the codes you're developing virtually. I'm able to take intelligent decisions. We are able to automate services and repurpose ourselves to do better jobs. We are able to leverage the cloud, reduce the OPEX and scale up resources on a need basis. Because we are able to do all this, what is the value proposition we are giving to customer? The better value proposition we are giving to customer. We are able to personalize their services. We are able to build larger products and services by leveraging the ecosystem. We are able to take a lot of risk in innovation. Previously, we did not have the bandwidth to take that risk. This is what we call Business 4.0. Now, talking about innovation, because I'm the Chief Technology Officer, I head innovation for this region for our company. So within TCS, we have around 30 plus labs, around 2,000 researchers, more than 1,000 patents granted, but it's just not about us. We have a very big ecosystem. We have around 2,000 startups, 50 plus universities, 50 plus VCs, and most of the products and services we are building is from this ecosystem which we have built. Also, we have a very systematic process of taking startups into our business and making them stand on their own. Innovation is not only about technology or use of technology. It is about culture. How do we spot young talent like yours? How do we nurture your ideas? How do we convert you into entrepreneurs? The culture becomes very important. And when we talk about this culture, there are actually three angles to it. Within the organization, we are about 500,000 people in TCS. 50% of us are youngsters. How do we nurture the youngsters here within the organization is one. Now, in the society, there are so many people like you, young talents. How do we spot you? How do we nurture you? How do we convert you into entrepreneurs is second. And third, how do we work with our customers? How do we extend this innovation culture with our customers and how do we do a co-innovation with them is the third aspect. Let me touch about each of this. So first of all, what do we do for the society? What do we do for people like you? So I can give you a couple of examples. In India, we have something called as a Digital Impact Square. You can browse about it, it's a public information. Every year, we take university students into this physical institute. It is in Mumbai. We have partnership with a lot of ministries who give us problems in water, energy, environment, agriculture, and there are mentors. We take these students, we mentor them technically, we mentor them with business models, we help them build the solutions, give them the right environment. The government acts as the anchor customer. And once they are on their own making sufficient money, they move out of us. They stay with us for 2-3 years. And we have been successfully doing this for many years now. And this is how we are promoting entrepreneurship in the society around us. So this is a physical setup. We also have a similar virtual setup. This is called as Cubo, again, public information. So here we take kind of mature startups. We give them space to put their marketing collateral, their videos, their APIs, and we give them a global visibility where people can read their material, they can try out the APIs themselves, and they can directly reach out to the startup. So these are some of the initiatives which have been working successfully for us to nurture innovation in the society around us. Now, what do we do internally? We have 500,000 people, I said. So what do we do there? So internally, we run something called as a manthan. Manthan is churning. How do you churn butter? It's a Hindi word. So here, we kind of have a platform which we call Nomi, where we run ideathons and hackathons for the huge population we have inside the organization. We take customers' problems which doesn't have a market-ready solution, we throw it to this huge population. And there's a systematic way this platform looks at the best results and kind of gives it back to the customer. We also do hackathons, build prototypes and give it back to the customer. Every year we run a competition called Innovista. Every TCS employee can apply saying that in the last 1 year I think I've done something unique and I feel this is truly innovative. There's a regional competition, there is a TCS level competition, and then it goes to Tata. Tata has got 100 companies, TCS just being one of it. So at multiple levels, they get recognized. And it is very relevant to say this year's group Tata Innovista, the project which TCS did with MTN got the award actually. very prestigious for us to get that group award, worth mentioning here. So there are these initiatives which we do internally. When we work with customers, that's a different game. So we do innovation days, which is thought leadership events on customer-specific vision statements. We do innovation forum where we bring multiple customers and discuss about future technologies. We bring entrepreneurs like you onto that stage and give them a visibility. It's a trademark term we have, co-innovation, where we introduce entrepreneurs in a systematic way to our global customers. We establish labs for customers. One is called as rapid prototyping, where we use young minds, just 1 or 2 years out of university, to build prototypes for customers. We have done hundreds of such works with that. We have a big establishment in Kerala, in India. And we set up agile innovation centers for customers, where from ideation to complete MVP, we work with the customers hand in hand. So there are several things we do with customers where, again, we bring fresh mind inside. So these are some of the models which we are using in TCS, which I thought will be useful for you to know, and will be welcome to talk to us on these. Now, coming back to case in hand, we definitely believe local talent is key for innovation, because innovation has to start from the grassroots innovation. You are the guys who know the problem on the ground. You are the guys who know the technology as well. So we strongly believe in having local talent in the innovation mix. And in fact, TCS has been known for years as top employer in South Africa. And even in this TADHack, we have decided to give PPI offers to the best talents spotted. And you will be hearing about it soon. So I think this is what I wanted to say. All the best to all of you, and stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Geeta Tyagarajan from TCS. So, yeah, guys, I think I'm bringing on the last of our speakers today before we can kind of get this show on the road. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about today was kind of the support that's available for you. So, I mean, we've had all of our sponsors talk about, you know, from the likes of TCS, CGI, CSG, IBM. I'm getting my all my acronyms mixed up here. TCS, CSG, Huawei, IBM, etc. All kind of coming together to help the, you know, to help the hackers today and over the weekend. So one of the things that we have available for you is some mentors that are going to be available via the Slack site. And I thought it was really important to kind of bring somebody on to just kind of talk about the help and support that's available to you over the weekend. And for that, we have a gentleman by the name, and I do believe he's in studio, by the name of Gabriel. So Gabriel has got, I think Gabriel was born straight into the matrix because he's got tech in his blood. It's been something that he's always been doing. You know, from the time he left school, went on to an internship at EOH, and then felt like, hey, listen, let me go and do this thing out on my own. So found, you know, some like-minded people, you know, who are also lovers of tech. And then kind of in this short time and as young as he is, he's already kind of pitched to multiple investors, sold his own pieces of software, started their own kind of company, and he's here from Geek Culture to talk to us about what support, mentoring, and help they'll be able to be giving the guys over the weekend. So with that, I think, you know, in addition to all of those good things, the best thing about Gabriel is his surname. So let's give it up for Gabriel Kassim from Geek Culture.
Awesome. Okay, thank you, Imran, for that warm welcome. So, hello everyone. It's your boy Gabriel Kassim, and I am the associate developer and open source lead at Geek Culture. And can I just say it's an honor to have this opportunity to go through this with you guys. If you're looking for me on social media, you can find me at iscertified. All right, so before we get started, I would just like to start off by thanking our golden sponsors. So number one, I would like to thank Huawei Cloud. I would like to thank Contactable, CSG, and Tata Consulting Services, because without them, this would not be possible. So as you already know, this hackathon is a 3-day hackathon that will be taking place from now the 9th until the 11th of October. And I will just briefly be taking you through what exactly will be happening this weekend. All right, so first things first, a couple of tools you guys may want to have a look at, and I'll go through them briefly in just a bit. It's HackerEarth and MoMo. So HackerEarth is the primary platform where the hackathon will be taking place. And this is where your submissions will be happening, and everything to do with your teams, a project, the schedule, it's all on HackerEarth. So HackerEarth is the go-to in terms of the hackathon itself. And then secondly, we have Slack. So Slack is very important as it's our primary tool for communication. If you want to talk to judges, if you want to talk to mentors, or even if you just want to talk to your teams, we will avail channels for your team, and there are other channels there for you to communicate with other participants. And then we have Trello, which is an excellent project management tool that you guys can make use of as you go through the hackathon and as you track your progress. And then lastly, we have Miro, which is an interesting tool I will introduce you to for those of us who love whiteboards. All right, so the main link for this weekend is TADHackZA.hackerearth.com. So this is the link you guys want to go to. This is, write this link down. Make sure you memorize it off by heart, because this is the primary location of the hackathon, right? So let's get to it. So what the heck? So what exactly is going on this weekend? Well, a couple of things that will be happening. So let me just introduce you to the TADHack schedule. So the schedule is available once again on HackerEarth, but a couple of things I just want to emphasize. Number one is that we will have numerous webinars from our sponsors and our partners. So please make sure that you attend those webinars and that you learn what tools they have availed for you to use, so that you guys can make use of the APIs and whatnot. And I encourage you to use their tools and make the software dance. So a couple of webinars that will be taking place. There will be a webinar on the webinar by Huawei happening first at 6 p.m. Today. Another webinar by Contactable happening at 6:45. Then we have a webinar by the Ayoba team that will be happening at 7:30. We have another webinar from Tata Consulting Services that will be happening at 8 p.m. At 8:30, we'll have a webinar by IBM. At 9, we have a webinar by CSB. So please make sure that from 6 p.m. tonight until around 9:30 that you do avail some time to get used to the tools that our sponsors have to offer. And I encourage you, make the software dance. Okay. So on day 2, we'll have some hacking time. So from midnight to 9 a.m. you'll have time to hack. Make sure you join on Slack, because we'll be doing a lot of talking on Slack, making sure you guys are up to date. From 9 to 9:30, we'll have the State of the Hackathon address, also known as SOHA. And we'll just talk a little bit about what's happening in the hackathon, progress, etc. And then we'll have a midday update. So during this midday update, we would like to know, how are you guys doing? Have you made any progress? Out of 10, how far are you? Do you need any help? Etc. So that is a key milestone in this weekend hackathon. So make sure that at 12 tomorrow, that you are ready for that midday update. And then from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. we have the Code Blues, which is my personal favorite session. So if you have any code that's making you sick, that's giving you trouble, make sure you join the Coding Blues session, and we can try and help you there. And then from 7 p.m. until midnight, we'll continue hacking. And then lastly, on day 3, we'll have hacking time from midnight until 8 a.m. and then we'll have project submissions. Once again, make sure you're on Slack, because we will keep you posted. We will send reminders. We will talk to you along the way, right? So once 8 a.m. strikes, the clock is, the clock has stopped. So that'll be your time to submit your project. Okay, and then from 8 to 8:30, we'll have a morning update. From 9 to 11, we'll do the first round of judging. So the links will be availed around that time. So please stay tuned once again on Slack. And keep an eye on HackerEarth. So then the judges will choose the top 12 from 11 to 12 p.m. And then from 12 to 2, we'll have the top 10 presentations. So if you make it into the top 10, congratulations for getting that file ready. And then we'll have the winning judging taking place from 2 to 3 p.m. And then lastly, from 4 to 5 p.m., we have the prize giving, which I assume is the cherry on top. So that's where you'll find out if you're winning or not. All right, so let's just quickly talk about the judging criteria. So the following 5 items will be the core judging criterions, you could say. So number 1 is impact. So are you solving a local COVID-19 related issue? Does it have that impact? Number 2, resourcefulness. How well did you use the resources provided to you? So I did mention, guys, there are some APIs and the sponsors and partners have provided some tools. So I encourage you to use them and make your software dance using them. Number 3, user centricity and simplicity. So checking that it is designed in a way that solves the user. So is it user friendly? And how elegant is it? Is it presentable? Does it stand out? Is it creative? Number 3, wow factor and the business model. So yeah, does the solution blow the judges' socks off? Does it really wow them? So you really want to think about that. And what is the market potential? So you need to think of the business model as well. You can't just have a beautiful app. It needs to be useful. It needs to have a functioning business model. And then lastly, security, which is always key. Is it secure? Is it secure by design? What measures have you taken to make sure that it's secure? What could go wrong and what have you done to prevent that from happening? Awesome. So these are our 5 judging items. Please pay special attention to them. Right. So we have a couple of judges and mentors. Here are a few names, but they will be introduced to you in further detail once again on Slack. So please pay attention to that channel. Cool. So what should your solution entail? Well, number 1, you may submit your project as many times as you like. Only the final submission will be judged. So you have a grace period until Sunday at 8 o'clock. Only that final project will be judged. Number 2, all projects must contain the following in their submission. And by the way, all submission and project related stuff will be happening once again on Hacker Earth. The link there is TADHackZA.hackerearth.com. Right, so you'll need a project overview of around 3 to 4 sentences explaining what your solution is. Number 2, you'll need a PowerPoint presentation or some slides. So of your project, which shows your team name, some members, problem statement, your solution. And if you need any help, once again on Slack, there will be mentors there to guide you in creating your presentation. So please do not be afraid to ask for help. So other things your slide may include is the impact of the solution, the software development lifecycle, more importantly, the secure software development lifecycle, your business model, and if you want, you can add some screenshots. And then lastly, you'll need a video demo showcasing the working of your project. So I would recommend you could record it on your phone if it's a mobile solution. But yeah, make sure you're able to get a video demo together. Once again, if you need any assistance in finding tools to record that, please do not hesitate to ask the mentors on Slack. Right, so I'm just quickly going to talk about the engagement process. How do we engage? Well, there are 2 main tools you want to note here. The first tool is Hacker Earth. So Hacker Earth has to do with all project-related engagement, your submissions, the schedule, and I will take you through that in just a second. And then lastly, we have Slack. So Slack is where we talk. This will primarily be the tool for communication. So I'm just going to jump right into Hacker Earth over here. So once again, the link here is TADHackZA.hackerearth.com. So once you've signed in and you've signed up and registered, you'll be presented with this page. So there's a lot of information on here, but the key things you want to note is, number 1, this button over here that says Submit Project. So when you click on that button, all right, it'll take you to the page where you can create and essentially submit your project. So do pay special attention there. So once the page opens up, you'll see we're presented with a form essentially. A couple of things you need to add is what tools and frameworks have you used to build this with. You got to accept the terms, and then what you can do in the left side is you can actually build your team. So you can write about your team, and then if you want to add teammates, you can click this button in the top right hand corner over here that says I'm looking for teammates. Once you do that, so I'll just go ahead and click that over there. Once you do that, it will then give you the ability to actually invite other members to your team. My PC is a little bit slow. But then on the other side, let's say you wanted to join a team that already exists. So you can click on this join a team button on the left here, and then you can scroll through some of the teams and you can request to join their team by clicking join this team. Right, let's quickly go back to the Hackathon homepage. As I said before, there's a lot of information here. The most important of which are our rules, our judges, etc. So one thing to note is your number one, the agenda. So if you ever get lost and don't know what's happening, do pay special attention to this agenda. It's similar to the agenda I've shown you here. And once again, do participate in the webinars. Make use of our partners and sponsors, right? And also submissions. So when you're submitting, please make sure you tick off all the boxes. Make sure you have everything that needs to be submitted there. So when you click on the submissions section, essentially there will be a guide for you. Whoops. Right. Okay, so on submissions, yes, so here you'll be able to see actually whether or not you've submitted and also other teams that have submitted. And then I'm just going to go through the rules quickly. So the rules is also very important. Do pay special attention to them. We do have some terms and conditions. Please do read through them. It's a little bit long, so I won't take you through it right now. Right, so the second thing I wanted to mention was Slack. So over here we have the beautiful user interface of Slack opened up, and on our right side over here we have our channels. So this is pretty easy to use, but let me tell you which channels you should predominantly make use of. Number one is the announcements channel. So in the announcements channel, you'll get any important announcements or updates relating to the hackathon. Number two, networking. This is my personal favorite channel because here you can actually go and talk to other participants, maybe crack a joke. So for now, I'm just going to break the ice and say yellow. Okay, so use the networking channel for talking to other people. If you need a teammate, meet other people. Hey, South Africa, awesome. And if you want to react, you can click this add reaction button and add your reaction. So I'm going to show some love. Then we have the list of teams channel. So here you can find the list of teams that will be uploaded. Please make sure that when we share the list of teams that your team is on that list. Because if it's not, we need to account for your team. Right, and then we have resources, which is self-explanatory. We'll share some resources here. But if you're a super smart person and you find some resources that may be useful for other teams and other participants, do make sure that you share those resources here so that we can help others in need as well. Then we have technical support. So this is once again, it's self-explanatory. If you need any technical support, do ask here and we can get some mentors to assist you. But if you need more specific technical support, we do have our sponsors on Slack as well. So we have Ayoba, we have Contactable, we have CSGI, Huawei, IBM, and TSC, and we also have MoMo support. So these channels are all here for you to make use of. So do make use of those channels when you are in need. And then lastly, we have entertainment, which is my second favorite channel. So over here, you can share music, share videos. So I'll share something there later. Please stay tuned. Cool. So a couple of remote working tools I want to show you is Trello and Miro. So Trello is an excellent project management tool, and I encourage you to use it just to track your progress. So over here, I've already got a Trello board set up with the ocean background, just to take it back to the beach. And essentially, the way Trello works is you have lists and you have cards. So I'm going to create my first list. I'm going to create a simple to-do to-do, in progress, done board. So we'll create a to-do list, in progress list, and a done list. Right, and this is really all you need to track progress. If you want to change your background, you can work, if you want to edit the board, you can work with this menu on the right side here. But for now, I'll just close that. Cool, and then you can add cards to this list. So let's say you need to set up your environment. Well, you can add that card. Right, and you can do a lot more than just add text to your card. If you click on the card, you can add, for example, a checklist. Now, checklists are very useful because they help you track progress once again. So if I'm setting up my environment, I probably want to download a text editor if I don't have one. I probably also want to set up a slide template. Okay, so you can add a bunch of items to that checklist, and when you've completed them, you just, well, check them off, and it'll automatically track your progress and give you a percentage there. Another thing you may want to add is a due date, because we are chasing the clock, we are fighting time. So let's say I want this done today. Let's say we need it done at 2:45. Cool, and you can save that, and just like that, you have a due date added to your card. And Trello will automatically go and remind you, add email notifications, etc. The last thing I want to show you is adding members to your board. So obviously you're not working alone, and to add a member, so I'm going to go ahead and add the first email that comes to my mind, and that will be info@geekculture.com. Okay, so you add the email and then you send the invitation, right? And just like that, you've invited a collaborator onto your Trello board. Now up next we have Miro. Miro is quite cool. It's a shared whiteboard tool, so it's pretty easy to use. You can get started with one of their pre-made templates, but in our case we'll just use a new blank board. So you click on this and you click create shared board. It'll load up, and like I said, Miro is a shared whiteboard, so whatever changes you make, your teammates will be able to see that in real time, right? So for now, let's say we're brainstorming an idea, right? Let's start with a sticky note. We can let's see, paste the sticky note here, and let's say today we want to create just a fintech solution, right? So you can add cards, you can move these cards around, and like I said, you can do this in real time. Let's say you just want to add normal text, you can add normal text. So in this case, I will just say our idea, right? So yeah, go ahead and fool around with Miro. And last thing I want to show you here is to add a team. So once again, you click share. Let's first give our board a title. So we'll just say TADHack, save, right? So who do you want to share with, or who do you want to invite to the board? Okay, so you can either invite your team by sharing a link, or you can send them an email. So once again, I'm going to send this to the first email that comes to my mind, which is info@geekculture.com. Right. Invite to team. Yeah, so you can invite from Slack or other places. So once you press enter, you can then send that invitation, right? And that will add them to your board. And then I just quickly want to go over some of the comments we saw earlier on. So Clinton Manakane said, I didn't understand the part about getting an MTN MoMo gift. Awesome. So I will answer that in my presentation. So for MTN MoMo, first thing you want to do is make sure you've installed the app, and you want to make sure you've turned on GPS and mobile data as you go through the registration process. That's very important. Once you've signed in and registered with your cell number, you can select the default account, which is the quickest. You can then enter your details and get an OTP. But lastly, so I'm going to jump to item number 8. Once you've registered successfully on MTN MoMo, you need to make sure that you register on Hacker Earth. Once you've done that, you can then receive your MoMo gift, and we can get started. So I hope that answers your question. Yes, and for the weekend on the socials, just make sure you use the hashtag TADHackZA. So this is the main hashtag for this weekend. Yes, and with that, I would just like to say thank you and good luck to all the participants.
Thank you, Mr. Kassam. So thank you, Gabriel. I suppose Gabriel will be available throughout the weekend and is there to support you guys via all of the mediums that you've got. So I guess reach out to Gabriel if you've got any questions. But please make sure that you are registered on the Hacker Earth site, as well as all the other sites that require you to be able to submit your solutions. Before I jump off, I just wanted to talk about the coolest part of this whole thing. And I mean, everything about it is cool, but obviously there's some prizes. So in addition to that internship that was spoken about earlier on, there's a ton of prizes. And Yusuf and Alicia, just keep me honest here when it comes to me talking about some of these prizes, right? So the first prize is a $1,000 prize. Okay, and I just want to double check this. Are there incredible vouchers in addition to that first prize, Alicia?
Sorry, Imran. So that is $1,000 prize with an addition, yes.
Okay, so that's an addition. So in addition to your squad, if it's a squad and you guys have won it, you win the $1,000 as well as the incredible connection vouchers to a value of another 10,000 rand. That is right, not dollars. Just to be clear. So it's a $1,000 prize and 10K ZAR, good old South African rands. Okay, in addition to that, then the second prize is $600. And the third place prize is $300. So there you're looking at, if you have to convert it, I mean, maths was never my strong point, but in terms of exchange rate, I think second prize you're looking at about 10K and the third prize you're looking at about 5K, right? Then a prize that I think is very cool is for the female hacker, best female hacker, and she gets a 10K prize. And again, it's to encourage the ladies to get involved in the tech industry. And ladies who are online, or even the guys, if you've got sisters, cousins, grandmas, grandpa, whoever it is, get them involved, man. I think this is one place where, when we spoke about the internet coming out, it was an opportunity to democratize the internet, so that literally everybody with an internet connection can do magical stuff on it. And again, here similarly, if you can hack, if you've got a laptop, if you've got the smarts, you can do this thing. And I think very often it is only our minds that stops us from participating in this and getting into it. So please encourage the ladies to participate, guys. Then there's a prize for the Ultimate Geek Star, which is also a laptop. And then there are tons of other spot prizes that are going to be given throughout the weekend of Take-A-Lot vouchers, MoMo cash prizes, and all of that kind of stuff. There's tons of those to be given away, so I don't want to go through them line by line, but just to know there's a series of spot prizes in terms of the person who's kind of tweeted the best, or the most, what do you call it, retweets, or whatever it is, the person who had the most reach with their socials. So give it a whirl. There's tons of spot prizes to be won. There's that big prize of the $1,000 with the 10K incredible connection vouchers. So yeah, guys, I think with that, it's just, again, thank you for the opportunity to be with you guys again, to open up the TADHackZA this year, 2020, the COVID Chronicle version. But yeah, I'm sure it's going to be as exciting as it was last year. I'm looking forward to some of the outputs that you get. Probably on Sunday we'll do an announcement if that's on the cards. And I guess this year, the one thing that I'm really going to miss is I remember being there last year, and as we were doing the prize giving, it was evident that the guys had been working through the day, through the night, into the next day, through the night, into the next day, because while I was literally talking, there were guys falling off to sleep in the audience. And I mean, for me, that just spoke volumes about the commitment, the tenacity, the resilience of everybody wanted to participate, and it was awesome. So I'm really going to miss the opportunity to be able to kind of see you guys in the flesh working, knocking out that code. but I'm sure you guys will still have as much fun as you did. You're doing exactly a similar situation to what the guys did last year. It's just virtually. So with that, thank you very much, guys. Remember to use the hashtag TADHackZA, and I'll be chatting with you guys soon. Back to you, Alicia.
Thank you so much, Imran. I would like to start off by saying thank you so much for spending the morning with us, Imran. You've been an incredible MC, always doing a great job, and we appreciate you spending the time with us. Second of all, I would just like to thank all of our speakers that has come through this morning early to come and talk to our hackers and talk about the resources that we've made available to them. So thank you to all of our speakers as well. Lastly, I would like to say thank you to all of our sponsors and partners. This event would not be possible without your sponsorships and your partnership with us. So thank you for spending the time with us this weekend as well, and for making TADHack possible. So without further ado, I think I will now remind everyone to please start hacking. You need to make sure that you have your projects available for us to judge by 7 o'clock on Sunday morning. So go ahead and get started. Remember, join us on Slack if you've got any questions, any concerns. Come and raise them there. We've got tons of mentors waiting to help you. Lots of support from all of our sponsors sitting there on Slack waiting to answer your questions and to help you build your phenomenal projects. We can't wait to see what you come up with, and we can't wait to see your solutions to the problems. So with that said, I would like to therefore declare the hackathon open. Yeah. There's our gong. Oh. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your hacking time.
Let the hacking begin.
Let the hacking begin. Woohoo!
Introducing MTN MoMo. When you want to keep your money safe, but then
no malume, hlukana nama-cash deposits phansi kwamatrasi. Just momo it *120*151# ufake i-cash yakho efonini.